everybody, and welcome to a video on the Constructor Criticism YouTube channel. I'm Spencer, host of Constructor Criticism, and Limited Time Only, two podcasts about getting better at Magic the Gathering. Today, I'm going to talk to you about a deck that our team took to the Pro Tour that we made a few changes to. And we made the changes because of the way that the format shook out after the Pro Tour and some of the things that are happening now. So we're going to talk about I'll never get this right. Ramunap Red, so the mono red aggro deck of the format. So our team took a deck that was a lot closer to something like maybe PV's list, which is what won the Pro Tour, but we actually don't think that the way that we built the deck was 100% correct, and we would have changed a couple of things because of it. So I kind of want to go over kind of how I think the deck should be played today, and some of the card choices. So you're going to notice that a lot of the things in the sideboard are actually kind of close to PV, and some of the things in the main deck are actually kind of closer to some of the other decks. I think that Paulo actually had the best sideboard of anyone at the Pro Tour, and then other people had some better card choices in the main deck. So specifically, Village Messenger is probably just a card that doesn't belong in the deck, especially in the present meta. And I think that it's pretty safe to say that we might be able to fix that. So we have 4 Ahn-Crop Crasher, 4 Bomat Courier, 4 Earthshaker Khenra, 4 Falkenrath Gorger, 3 Hazoret the Fervent, 2 Kari Skyship Raider, and 3 Soul-Scar Mages our creature base. So we are cutting down on a 1-drop. In fact, when playing with and brewing this deck, I've gone between 2 and 4 Soul-Scar a lot. So sometimes there are 2 in the deck, and sometimes there are 4. I think it just kind of depends on the meta and how many 1-drops you actually want. But I do think that Soul-Scar is correct in this deck over something like Village Messenger, right now at least. Village Messenger is kind of funny in that you typically are going to flip your own Village Messenger back, so it doesn't really stay at 2/2 for that long. So it's usually just a 1/1, and it's just not good enough in the deck. While this card actually gives you some main deck and sideboard answers for opposing Hazorets and other cards, and basically making other cards irrelevant by shrinking them down instead of just killing them in case it's a large creature that you can't deal with. We have, our spells include 2 Abrades, 4 Shocks, 2 Collective Defiance, 4 Incendiary Flow, and then we have 1 Chandra in the main deck. This Chandra is another one that fluctuates, right? If I play 2 Soul-Scar Mage, it's likely that I'm going to play that second Chandra, or another Collective Defiance. But I think that Chandra fits really well into this deck. It lets you cast multiple spells on a turn. It lets you, multiple big spells, right? So, I can get to 4 mana and then next turn be able to double spell a 3 mana and a 2 mana, or a 4 mana and a 2 mana spell, or just bigger spells. And all of her abilities I've seen used in this deck to pretty great success, and also her being able to tick up or down and be really protected, because if they're attacking your Chandra, it means that they're getting attacked back. So Chandra does a really good job in this deck that we haven't seen her, Chandra is obviously the most powerful when you get to use all of her abilities, and typically when we've seen it in decks like Aetherworks Marvel. This is the first aggro deck that we've seen Chandra really fit into really well. The Temur Energy decks will play this card, but I don't think it's as effective as is in this deck. We play 23 lands. We have 14 Mountain, 4 Ramunap Ruins, 1 Scavenger Grounds, and 4 Sunscorched Desert in the main. This Scavenger Grounds could be a mountain or a Scavenger Grounds. It really doesn't matter. I like the Scavenger Grounds as it gives me another utility land, and that's basically another desert to stack to Ramunap Ruins. So our sideboard is 1 Aethersphere Harvester, 2 Glorybringer, 2 Pia Nalaar, 2 Sand Strangler, 1 Abrade, 3 Chandra's Defeat, 1 more Scavenger Grounds, 1 more Chandra, and 2 Collective Defiance. You'll notice that I actually don't have the 4th Hazoret in the 75. This is something our team talked about quite a bit after the Pro Tour, and while a lot of teams said that was what they thought was the Mirror Breaker, I and some of my teammates don't really think that you want to get Hazoret flooded, and you're going to be okay to draw 1 when you have 3, and I just don't think you need the 4th one. Overall, I really like this sideboard. I've tried a couple of games with it, and I've been pretty impressed. Sand Strangler is a card that I've been really impressed with. Going into 10 deserts post-boarding in Sand Strangler means it's pretty likely that you're going to have a chance to have this be turned on and be really effective in the games where it is. Being able to just 2-for-1 your opponent in a red deck is not something that you always get, and Sand Strangler does really good Flame Tongue Kavu impressions. Pia Nalaar is another card that I've been impressed with. I actually wish that I could fit another Aethersphere Harvester in the sideboard because of Pia Nalaar, and boarding in those two cards together has been really effective for me. Chandra's Defeat is a card that I think is really important in the sideboard. Being able to kill both opposing Chandras post-board and having a way to just cleanly deal with the Hazoret when you have a Soul-Scar Mage in play is really great. Abrade, the third one in the board, is a concession to the fact that Green-Black can be a pretty bad matchup, so you need as many cards as you can to kill both Gearhulk and Snake, and Abrade does a really good job of that. Collective Defiance is the same thing. You have to have cards that can deal with something a little bit bigger, while also elevating your game plan. And I think that Collective Defiance does the best job of that. I know a lot of people play Cut Ribbons in this slot. I think Collective Defiance is just a better answer overall. So that's kind of a quick look at Ramunap Red. Ramunap. I'm never, ever going to get that right. If you have any questions about why we're playing any cards, please leave a comment and let us know. I really like this deck. I think that if you're going to play a red deck, this is the best it's been in a while. I think that you get a lot of reach from things like your deserts, from your Sunscorched Desert and your Ramunap Ruins. You don't get flooded because of things like Earthshaker Khenra. I'm really impressed with the things that this deck gets to do. And if you haven't tried it out, I highly recommend it. Other than that, that's it for this week on a shorter deck tech. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Leave any questions. Don't forget to hit that like button and check out constructivecriticism.com for all of our other content, as well as patreon.com/ccmtg to support this and all of our other content. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful week.